What are some iconic levels from your childhood? The Bomb Mountain Battlefield from Mario 64 is a good one. There's also Hollow Bastion in Kingdom Hearts. The OST is so good, by the way. A game that I always revisit is the underwater levels of BioShock. I loved how they used the Man of Tomorrow trope in that game.
So in this video, I will cover the best way to learn level design using the internet and the workflows a solo developer can implement for their game. And you might be wondering, where do beginners start? In my experience, beginners start by making the most hideous levels you will ever see. They will literally look like they were imported over from Gmod. And after throwing in a couple meshes, foliage, and filters, it starts to look, okay. In the end, the level can still feel janky, especially after you realize that there is a million different ways to implement extra depth in your textures. The main ways are tessellation displacement, a POM, parallax occlusion mapping, or WPO, world position offset. These features help our levels look real and stop everything from looking flat. In the end, we need to actually plan what we need for our game. And with that, the current workflow I recommend is defining the core mechanics, which in turn will basically guide our level design for us. This is movement, interaction, items, types of locks, enemy types, etc. With that list in mind, after we establish the traversal expectation, we can draw a bubble map of our locations to get a sense of theme and scale for the game world. So what is a bubble map? A bubble map is a fast and simple representation of the levels or sections of a level we want to make. We just need to gauge how levels are going to connect to each other and how much space they are going to take up. These drawings help us iterate sections that relate to each other faster and helps us avoid design problems down the line. If you want a better overview of the bubble diagrams, you can watch this video in the description below. With this in mind, we can choose the type of level to build for each of our bubbles. There are 5 core level structures that a player can experience, at least when it comes to most games. We have linear/alley. This design starts at point A and ends at point B. It doesn't make the player backtrace. These levels are good for chases, arcade type levels, hazards/death runs. A lot of old school games were built this way. Then we have Y-linear. This is basically linear with little Easter eggs hidden around, or sometimes it's just extra doors that lead to the next story beat, providing a little bit more exploration for our players. This can add replayability or make puzzles and resources/collectibles a bit more worth it to collect. This is used a lot in Silent Hill, Resident Evil, and Souls games. Then we have multiplayer/network/connected maps. For these, each area can lead into each other through different pathways. We also have island/open world. These are those expansive open world games or battle royale games that have giant maps for players to explore. And finally, we also have the hub area. In this level type, all the locked doors need to circle back to the hub, which we need to explore in order to solve the puzzles and unlock the next way forward. Another implementation of this concept is to have combat happen instead of puzzles that will lead to a new ability, giving us the power to unlock the way forward back in the hub. But yeah, these are some of the main levels you will start making. Let me know if there are any other ones you have found or noticed. Once our bubble map is finished, we can start drawing out a basic layout using AutoCAD, or if you already used your free student year, you can use FreeCAD instead. Our basic side plan will have shapes to visualize where items or contraptions are going to go on the map. And those are going to be the collectibles, the lore drops, puzzles, power buttons, levers, interactive platforms. After we have a 2D draft, we can finally start blocking out the design to see how the flow of the level and scale feels with our player model. When we have these things in place, we can start adding interactivity to the collectibles, platforms, puzzles, and any other things you have in your level. Then we test a lot. Or not, I don't know, it's up to you. Once everything has been tested and the blockout layout is cemented, we can start dressing the environment with the proper meshes and materials. Before this, it's a good idea to create a prop suit to get a good sense of how everything will look in the world in terms of scale and color. It also helps you see any assets that don't look good together right off the bat, making it easier for you to match texture quality between assets or blend the material colors to match each other. From this point on, you just start doing art passes and iterating by polishing sections with more environmental lights, specific camera settings, aberration, volumetric fog filters, shaders, all that good stuff. In the end, there is no one way to make a perfect level. It's all about experimenting with how your character feels and what it can do in terms of combat, traversal, and interactivity. So go out there and have fun.